Actionaid has called on Nigerians to change their attitude towards political leaders, tasking them to demand accountability from political office holders as a way of encouraging development. The country director, Actionaid Nigeria Ene Obi, made the call at a forum to discuss topical issues affecting the nation in Abuja. Obi says all Nigerians have a role to play in achieving real change across the different sectors of the country.
If we don't have a people's movement, how do we talk about social justice to end poverty? With the kind of callous leadership that we have, with the kind of primitive accumulation of wealth that we have today, people are looting the treasury dry, and we are still watching them. And people are not answering questions. If you stand on this stage, all of you in this room, if you are not doing something with it, you are a guilty one as well. And so we must be part of the movement together. I'm really grateful to the country director of Plan, who retraced his steps and said, I started from Actionaid. Actionaid has been a part of many people's lives because we know we cannot do it alone. And so let's move together. If you are an action aider, even if it's the Ene Obi that is standing, say you are not doing this thing right, Ene, you are not doing right. That's what we do to each other. A cleaner or a program officer can look at the country director and say that is not correct. But before you say that is not correct, have your evidence. And if you have it, you are the winner.
For the change that we seek to happen, all of us have to move. And we have to move in one direction. We have to speak with one voice. And we have to ensure that we hold people that are responsible, accountable for the changes that we seek to have by ensuring that the right things are done. But it can't happen on its own. It is something that has a life, and it is something that has to be given life to.
People have been buying votes from 1960. It won't be different. Why do you think they are stealing so much money? It's not, they are not just keeping the money. Look at all the money that they say people are discovering in houses and so on, and in Husband Road and all that. Did you hear anything about it? They have to steal money so that they will use money power to stay in political power. So there's nothing, all this thing about corruption. As long as 1% of Nigeria can own all of Nigeria, nobody can stop corruption.
We're looking for a strong partner in Western Africa. Nigeria is the largest country in Africa. It's a very strategic place to be, and you have a very, very strong history. And then we have the partnership with Actionaid Nigeria, and as they said this morning, they're not afraid to be confrontational. It's their middle name, actually. So they have beautiful results, and they're connected to activists and human rights defenders, as we can see here. And I think that is what it takes to also inspire the young people, because that's really what it's all about, to have the new generations of social movements who can stand up. You have elections coming up, who can believe in themselves and that can organize. It's the youth leadership that we're working for.
It's not simply about also electing the president of a country. It's about electing the senators and members of House of Reps. If you have a good president and a bad National Assembly, you will have a bad government. There's no doubt about it. Because whatever the president wants to do must be with the constitutional and legal input of the National Assembly. So it's very important. You must also have interest in electing people at the state houses of assembly. Many people are only interested in who becomes the president of Nigeria. You should be interested in who becomes the member of your state assembly, because state house of assembly is where democracy is modeled. Many of them there are being inhabited by stooges, satellites, satraps, and boys of the state governor. You can't criticize a governor if you are a member of state house of assembly. You can't hold any governor accountable, otherwise you will be suspended. So it's one area where Nigerians never focused on. So almost governors simply have a free ride for what they do. Nigeria has never been so divided along ethnic and religious lines. Never at a time have we lost hope in this country as we are today. Never at a time has people started questioning the viability, the workability and the future of Nigeria as it is today. All the promises which those in power have made, they have reneged on it. They promised to restructure this country. It was never restructured. And more promises of restructuring is coming now on the table. They promised to remove subsidy and ensure that poverty is eradicated. No poverty has been eradicated and no subsidy. As they even call subsidy a scam, the scam moved from $200 billion to over $4 to $5 trillion. They criticized the last government, which I was part of who criticized the last government, of borrowing. Now we have reached a point that what we are earning itself cannot pay the money we are collecting as loans. So many things is wrong with this country. And one thing we need to get right, to get everything right, is the right leaders. I didn't say right leader because people are looking at who becomes the president. Is that Atiku, Aswaju, or Peter Obi or Konkoso? That is not enough. If you elect any of those persons into office, and then you have a bad National Assembly, or an assembly of rubber stamp, that is just what is going to end. Whatever he wants, they will simply say.